Rebecca Bush podcast, YouTube stream. Eventually, it will become a podcast. I'm going to grab the audio and throw it in and pop it into, have all the different episodes. But for now, just sharing every week. And, I've had a multitude of guests on the show over the last month or two. And I've really been focusing on having women on the show just to spotlight and highlight all the great women in the world who are really kicking butt and building and co-creating beautiful things and projects and just sharing their gifts with the world. I'm actually not going to have a guest on today because today I wanted to take an opportunity just to further introduce myself to everyone and also to share about a project that I've been working on alongside my other coworkers here at Live Free Academy, and it's called the Exit and Build Health Summit. So really what I was hoping to kind of review today was my own health journey. And, a lot of people know that, I've been pursuing the homesteading lifestyle for a long time. And if you've been watching the other shows, you've probably seen some of the other women who are, growing their own food or living off the grid or really helping with the co-creation of new eco-villages or intentional communities or creating non-toxic homes. And while all of that's really important to me, I feel like you really can't pursue those kinds of projects and that higher purpose if you're not in alignment with being healthy and with really making those daily decisions that will impact not only your present, but also your future and, ultimately everyone around you as well. And, the event, the Exit and Build Land Summit, we have put on a few of those. The fourth one's going to be in May 2024. And it was cool to really focus, the last few years on putting this event on because I feel like there's a really strong desire. A lot of people want to, live in these communities, like surrounding a farm or growing their own food and stewarding the land communally, but not everyone's ready to make that step. And I think a really good place to make that first leap of faith is with focusing, if you can't do the homesteading lifestyle right now, is by focusing on your health. And, if you're not in a position to grow your own food, you could at least be joining a community supported agriculture program or going to the local farmers market. And so I just wanted to share maybe the next 30 minutes about the Exit and Build Health Summit, which is a new event and it's actually free. So that's really cool. I'm going to screen share and show you guys that website, but also just share a little bit about my journey and my health journey. So, before I was passionate about living in tiny homes and building out, homesteading communities and having that more intimate lifestyle connecting with the land, I always shared an interest in having a healthy lifestyle. When I lived in Indiana, drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, and I'm not saying this is how it is everywhere in Indiana, but where I was raised, it wasn't, to me, I wasn't aware that that wasn't normal. Like everyone drank beer and drank vodka that I hung out with, even, I hate to admit this, but like even when I was 14 years old, I actually started smoking cigarettes and we'd put vodka in water bottles and drink and literally until the point of like, not remembering what happened the night before. And like, it was just all the friends, all the peers did it. And I just thought it was normal. Like I never really knew any different. But after high school, I entered into college and coincidentally, I got a lot of the partying out when I was younger from like that 14 to 17 age range. And I really started to question those decisions that I was making. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I escaping from reality? What am I trying to remove myself from? Like, why am I not just happy with who I am and having a life of sobriety? And so I really started to focus, like I was doing these I was a resident assistant at student housing and helping with those community events. And it really helped pull me out of that bad crowd to have a new group of friends who were positive, who were sober, who were, doing things like a chili competition at the community and let's all watch the Super Bowl game together, little things like that helped to pull me out of that environment and just space of like, let's go hang out at our friend's apartment and drink. And, our friend over here is taking Xanax and someone over here is doing other, like psychedelic and blah, like things that were just what I had grown up with thinking was like a normal way to spend a Friday night. So when I entered into university, I was a collegiate cheerleader. I was an athlete. I did 2 a days. I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and, work out until 6 a.m., go to my college classes, walk around the whole, student housing, doing dorm hallway checks and making sure there weren't any noise violations and putting on events of the community. And then in the evenings, I'd have my other cheerleading practice, or we'd have a basketball game. So I was really, really active and engaged, and being so busy and being so just excited about things that genuinely brought me joy really helped to pull me out of that funk where I was, drinking a lot of alcohol and not being the best version of myself. And I'll give myself credit. Like during college, I really kicked butt and focused on my studies, focused on my career, focused on my physical health. And I could pull up a picture probably on Facebook to show like I had like almost a six pack. Like I was really, really ripped. And I was the one they'd throw up in the air and do like all the cool cheerleading stretches and all that kind of stuff. And I did that all the way through my junior year of college. I actually moved to Texas, and that was a whole new shift for me. And this is when the loneliness really set in. So when I moved to Texas, I didn't really know anyone here. And that I think is when the drinking problem really started. So I'm just kind of getting vulnerable because I know everyone has their own health journey, and I'm just explaining to everyone like this is where things started to go wrong for me. So I was like not in a place where I had a lot of friends, didn't really have community. And I was like feeling a lot of pressure to be a great student and to be all these, things that it was like, what's a shortcut to get there? So my freshman year of college, I actually started to take this pharmaceutical called Adderall. And again, going back to like not really knowing that there's something wrong with that, like everyone in college was taking Adderall, or so it seemed. Like people all around me were like, oh yeah, just go take some Adderall and that'll help you do an all-nighter. That'll help you pass your class. That'll help you be skinny and not eat food and, be able to work and go and not feel tired. So I started to take Adderall. And before that, also, I had been prescribed this, which I didn't even know at the time was an antidepressant called Wellbutrin. Like they're like, oh yeah, take this; it'll help you quit smoking. Like so, there's kind of like this cocktail of doom and gloom. Because after 2 or 3 years, and when I moved to Texas, that's when things kind of shifted, and I, instead of having like that purpose in life, I just started to drink a lot. And I was in a relationship at the time too that wasn't the healthiest. Like I'm not going to fault either one of us, but I was young. I think I was like 20, 21 years old. Like so things were kind of leaning in a direction of like I'm going to drink my problems away. Well, let me show you how this all ended up manifesting, because I actually stayed in Texas. I've lived here now since like I think I moved here in 2011. Let me show you my before and after picture. So after like years of being here, and kind of it took me a while to get in a flow and to get healthy. So I ended up like after college, working in politics, and boy, oh boy, was that depressing. Just, I was working on a US Senate campaign, and it was like mainstream media was always on, like fear, 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 blah, like the world is doomed, everything sucks. Like, so that really made the drinking. I was like, every day I'd come home and be like, oh, I just need to like drink my problems away. I didn't want to think about just having to listen to CNN or Fox News all day. It was like literally brainwashing me and making me feel so just like sick and uncomfortable. But when I left that job, I actually started to work with my friends who were creating this tooth powder, natural tooth powder company. And this is where everything shifted for me. So when I started to do this job, I was like working at the farmers markets and selling this activated charcoal bentonite clay tooth powder. And I actually worked with them for a half a decade, growing this brand from a farmers market product into like a multi-million-dollar corporation. Like I landed big stores like CVS Pharmacy. We were in Walmart, for crying out loud. Bed Bath and Beyond. I mean, all the stores that you can, Sprouts, like all the health stores like you can imagine, even natural dentists. So I started to learn as I went to these trade shows, and even starting out from the beginning at farmers markets, about this different way of living, this different way of purchasing power when it comes to trusting the source, trusting the ingredients, and really like eating less processed foods and using products that don't have like parabens and these synthetic fragrances and things that are nowadays, I think most people are aware, aren't very healthy. It even comes down to things like deodorant, and shampoo and stuff. Like I never really thought about being healthy in that regard. So when I it was funny because when I would go to these events, it's all about health, these natural products expos, all the best brands in the world that are, cutting edge for non GMO and organic and all this. And the funny thing is that 5 years of my life, even those going to these natural products expos and learning about health, was actually the sickest that I have been in my entire life. And it really was from that phase of like 2014 through really 2017, 2018. By the end of 2018, I was like really, really obese, not obese, but like really overweight. Like, here, I'll pull up a before and after. When John and I started dating, I was probably 15 pounds heavier than I am now because I was like still taking the Adderall and trying to get off of it and not sure how to get out of this like cyclical, just horrible situation of depending on the pharmaceutical, coming home, drinking alcohol, this endless loop of like just, sickness really. And doctors don't really say like, oh, you shouldn't do Adderall for this many years. Like, it was really messing up my adrenals and really messing up my quality of life and like just who I was as a human being. Like, I wasn't eating, I was hardly sleeping, I was drinking more alcohol than I was drinking water. Like, it was a pretty rough time for me. So when I started dating John, he really helped pull me out of that funk. When I left the company too, with the tooth powder company, I did a sabbatical. And that was kind of like my reset. I got to heal. I got to, kind of change my life. Let me show you a photo. So this was me at the hold on a second. This was me from that time frame. So, okay. This is embarrassing, but so you can see how I was like really bloated. Like, you can see it in my face. That's when John and I started dating. Like, I was really like a balloon. And this to the right was me when I was getting healthier. Now I'm 4 years sober and going to Orange Theory and going to fitness classes and like losing all that weight and like losing the Adderall, losing the alcohol, not smoking cigarettes anymore. Like, those little decisions in and of themselves completely set me on a different trajectory. I don't want to look at that any longer, but I just wanted to share that because like for me, it was getting to a point where like if I didn't make these really, really big decisions in my life, I knew that it was going to end poorly for me. And thankfully through, my lovely relationship and through, kind of transitioning my career, I was able to find a job that I actually genuinely enjoyed. I was working at Village Farm. There was a certified organic farm, which I was passionate about, getting the residents to live there. And it all was starting to click for me. And so coming back to this health summit, so when I'm thinking of like reasons why people should care right now about their health, it's like, I don't know if you are struggling with addiction. You can also be addicted to things like processed food. And so it goes a lot of different directions. But I think we can all admit that we have an innate desire to become a better version of ourselves, tomorrow than we are today. But the decisions we make today will help get us there to, have a epic before and after picture or to have a transformation of some sort, whether it's emotional, spiritual, or even physical. So when we put on the Exit and Build Health Summit, we started to like get to know people who are like, wow, like I was able to go in person, but I was able to watch from home. And those talks were so transformative. I'm saving up, I'm getting my land, I'm making these changes, boop, boop, boop. So we were like, what if we could do this, but on a larger scale and just focus on health? Because how are people going to be in a great financial position or a great emotional position or, spiritual headspace if they're not making decisions that are helping them to live a healthy and prosperous lifestyle? So we basically have, come up with a variety of different talks, 5 different days of various topics that we feel will really help people go from where they are today to, a more just one, feeling inspired, but also 2, like an innate desire to, really make those decisions to have that transformation. And I think also a lot of us can really look back to the trauma from the COVID pandemic. And like, there was a lot of pressure to like, hey, this is deadly. This is scary, fear, fear, fear. And I don't know that so much attention was really being placed on the more positive perspective of like, this is an opportunity to focus on your health. Like, if you have a strong immune system, you have a higher probability of beating this. So what steps do you need to take to have a higher chance of being this through strengthening your immune system, through making these daily, lifestyle changes so that you're not prone to disease, you're not prone to sickness. And I don't really think a lot of people focus on health as much as they do, for instance, like their financial situation, or, there's always, it feels like things that get ahead of the conveniences and the things that distract you from really what nothing's more important than your health. And so we have feelings of motivation because this is like first and foremost, if you want to be a prepper, if you want to live in an intentional community, if you want to have a natural built house and live this lifestyle and growing your own food, you have to be healthy, you have to have good energy levels, and you have to be in a place where you can really like make those lifestyle changes. And so I think what holds folks back is, initially just education and like, well, what do I have to do to be healthy, or what do I need to do to increase my vitality, or to have a stronger immune system, or what are some tips that I could utilize at the gym so that I'm getting better strength training or exercise. So let me share with you this website, guys, because this is kind of like a culmination of all those epic topics. And I feel like this is a great way for people who want to get their toes wet and just learn about these topics, because one, it's free. You have no barrier to entry. All the talks are free. And two, we've really designed a speaker lineup that has a great flow, a great, amount of information that will help to aid you in this journey. And so the Exit and Build Health Summit is actually live today. Yay. So December 6th, today, Wednesday, we actually just launched the Exit and Build Health Summit. It's not too late to participate. Let me show you the website. So we've got a lot of good topics we're going to cover, almost 30 different speakers. Everything is available to watch on a day 1, day 2, day 3. So don't feel like you have to watch all the talks in one day. So the first few talks actually just released today. Let me show you what you can expect. So we've got a great lineup. I was so honored. I got to sit in on a few of the interviews. So that was very exciting. Primarily this whole project that was led by Ryan. And so you'll get to hear from him today on his health journey and what really motivated him to design and put all of this together, because, I'll give credit to him. He really led the front on this initiative. And we're just kind of here playing a supportive role. And John's been very supportive. But it was awesome getting to sit in on some of the interviews. Like, for instance, with Dr. Kelly Brogan, like I followed her work for so long, and it was like, I couldn't believe it that I was, in a position where I could ask her questions and interview her. And she's like incredible. And I really, stepping back into like women power and girls rising and like, the divine feminine, like she really her work has been really transformative for me personally. And it was an honor interviewing her. But as you can see, there's a bunch of great speakers. And so let me go through some of the information that you can expect if you are able to join us. And also, this is going to be available for life if you can't watch it like today through Sunday, December 10th. We do have an option that you can just have a package that, you would get access to the videos forever. So I'll share more about that in a little bit. But I think all have family members who have had health ailments, or maybe personally we've had health ailments. And so a preventative approach is a really, I think, viable approach. And so a lot of what we're talking about will help you with that. So this is just the website. Here, I'll post it in the comments. And it's also in my YouTube comments section. So if you look at the description. Oh, someone said they appreciate me sharing my personal journey. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing sometimes to be vulnerable like this, but I think, it's also good because we can learn from one another. And I know I'm not the only person who struggled with pharmaceutical dependency and not even really realizing that it's like, a big deal to take a prescription like Adderall. Like that's a huge deal. Like I bet there's a lot of people who are, watching who have had similar situations where it's just like so nonchalant. Here, take this pill. This will make everything better. Instead of like, oh, you're having a hard time focusing. Why don't you cut gluten? Why don't you have a low carb, low sugar diet? Why don't you focus on intermittent fasting or do X, Y, and Z? It's like, it's never the diet or those changes, that can help with attention and mental clarity. It's like, here, just take this pill, it seems. So yeah, I'm happy to share. And, I'll also share too something that has helped me with my ADD. As you can see, I'm probably blah, 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 still to this day, like really hyperactive. But we'll share about the kratom is going to be one of the topics that John, my husband, covers. But we have a company called Brave Botanicals. And so there are plant medicines and there are herbal remedies that can help people to, transition and get off of pharmaceuticals. Like a lot of people also struggling with pain. I did gymnastics, I did cheerleading, diving. So I actually have arthritis in my neck. I have reverse curvature. My hips are uneven. And so my shoulders are uneven. But I digress. So things like kratom can actually help with pain management, instead of having to take like opiates every day or like Vicodin or something, which can really have an impact on your energy levels and stuff, make you very tired. But yeah, I'm happy to share. And, I think a lot of us have things that we can learn from one another. So that's just kind of where I'm coming from and why I'm so passionate about all of this. And I want to kind of go through some of these speakers because they do get into their own stories as well. So if you're, if you're dealing with anything where it could be a scale from depression and anxiety, like mental, health kind of issues, or if you're having issues with weight gain, weight management, if you've had situation like getting a tick bite and you have, Lyme disease, which can have horrible health consequences over time. All of these, health ailments we're going to cover in this 5-day summit, and more so like also just diet, nutrition, exercise in general as well. But each day has a topic. So I don't want to, go too far into this website because you can go kind of scroll and check it out on your own. But let me show you right now. Here's what day one. So when you go and register, you'll be able to check out this website that has all the videos. So this is what it looks like. So let's just focus on day one for now. Okay. So once you sign up on the website, you'll get an email, and the email will send you a link to this website. And this is where you will have access to your 5 days of talks. So let's just check out the first day. So first of all, it's sponsored by Farm to Freedom. I don't know if you guys are familiar with their t-shirts, but as someone who has gotten off of pharmaceuticals, I really appreciate their work. And I just think that, the message they're sending out there to the world is uplifting and positive. And if you want to check it out, they actually made a custom Exit and Build Health Summit t-shirt. So pretty cool. But anyway, their info is on the website and you'll have access to these talks. So Zuby is awesome. We've had him speak at other events. Like he was at the Greater Reset, he performed, but he's actually speaking at and giving a presentation. And he has a lot of great tips with health and transforming your body, through nutrition. And so he has a very popular Twitter page. I don't know if you guys see his tweets, but you can follow him there as well. But if you want to see what he has to say, so for
Welcome back to the Exit and Build Health Summit, where we're...
So that's kind of how the videos start, and then they get into the, nitty gritty with all the speakers. So all you do is sign up for free and you'll get access to all of this. Just click play. It's like a Vimeo link. Many people are fans of JP Sears. He's a fellow Austinite. He escaped California, but he lives here now, and he is really well known for his comedy. In fact, he actually did an advertisement for the tooth powder company I used to work with. We had him do a funny Magic Mud tooth powder advertisement. But anyway, so you've probably seen his skits, and he was a big proponent of enhancing and strengthening your immune system, and during the pandemic, and kind of pushing back on all the censorship. But he has so for instance, his talks on how to design a workout routine that works for you and forge a powerful body long term. And he does a lot of posts also about like natural products and getting healthy, and he kind of makes fun of the spiritual movement too, because I think we can all agree sometimes people are they come on strong with their opinions. So he does a great job utilizing humor to kind of get the information out there, but also make it, digestible. And then this is the interview I was on with Kelly Brogan and Ryan, and it was a great interview, really, really powerful. So it's not just about your diet and nutrition. It's also about healing and having, that bond strengthening with people you love. And if you have a fractured relationship, it can have tremendous stress internally that, manifest physically. So that was a really good talk. And then Tanner Shucks, so he, as you can see, is totally ripped. So his is on how to train your body to consistently grow muscles, why alcohol is poison, which maybe some of us have learned the hard way. We've got Robert Scott Bell, Ryan, who's really the host of this whole experience. He's going to be sharing what really got him into all of this. So this is just an example to show you guys kind of what you would be getting into. And all I can say is I encourage you to sign up. Now, if you can't watch it live, so you'll get like 5 to 6 talks a day, all through from today, Wednesday, then tomorrow you'll get another 5 or 6 talks all the way through Sunday, December 10th. If you can't watch right now, if you're really busy this week, there is an option to upgrade to the VIP package, which would basically allow you access to these talks for life, and then you can just knock it out on your own timeline. But as you can see, an awesome lineup. We're going to have some really cool perks as well for VIP members. They get a bunch of bonuses and add-ons. We're going to dive in a little deeper. Then there's their talk, and then there's a VIP section, which has an extra like 30 minutes, sometimes even longer, with each of the speakers. But yeah, I just wanted to take a second to share with you all that information. We work really hard on all of these events, and it's all very intentionally crafted so that we can deliver to you a experience that's going to be not only inspiring, but like really informative. And from someone who has, walked that path of health and we're all still on the path, but just going from someone who, really struggled with alcoholism and being addicted to cigarettes and the pharmaceuticals and everything, I can say firsthand that, it really does make a big impact, not only internally and on your own emotional, physical health, but also for your relationships with others when you step into your power and really take back your health sovereignty. But anyway, I appreciate you all. Oh, look, Vanessa's here. She says, I agree. Thank you for being so vulnerable. The more we share about these things, the more we can support each other. Oh, thanks, Vanessa. And Vanessa and her husband, Danny, actually got to sit in on that interview as well. I don't know if you are familiar with plant medicine, but they have really led the frontier of like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's heal. Like, let's, really explore ways that we can like work through and process trauma and like be better parents even, and better versions of ourselves, like through, utilizing plant medicine, even something as simple as like cacao and setting that intention. So Vanessa and Danny have done really great work in that space. And we actually have a great interview with them, which will be released at the Exit and Build Health Summit. And so I hope that you guys will sign up and register. It's going to be great. I'm really impressed with the speaker lineup and feel like we really are delivering a lot of great information. And if even one talk, you get a nugget of wisdom that can help transform and improve your lifestyle, like to me, that's absolutely 100% worth it. And, just like the logo, the Exit and Build Health Summit logo, if you look at it, it's like the hospitals and the syringes and the darkness of this like sick care, and like running away from that and leaning into the vitamin D and the sun and running and like being healthy and flourishing, human being, and not needing to take like pills every day, or at least trying to get away from that, if you can. So there's a lot of great information, whether you're looking for, information on detoxing or having more energy levels or pain management. We did a great talk with Renita, who covered, utilizing the pain patch to help with anti-inflammation and kind of ways to have that your life back in that way to really, alleviate if you're struggling with, pain. So there's a lot of great info. Like I said, John's doing a talk on kratom. This is kratom. So I know YouTube will ban people for talking about kratom. Let me see if I can show you the Brave Botanicals website. But I'll just say this, like, if it weren't for kratom, I don't know how I could have gotten off of Adderall. Like, when I started to drink kratom, it really helped me because, you have pharmaceuticals and you get used to that. And it's like, how do I even live my life without this? It's like, it's really hard to make that leap of faith and that transition. But we actually believe in kratom so much, we even give it away. We have free ounce of kratom.com, which John will talk about. But, people are using things like CBD and kratom to help and aid in their pain management. And also, there's different veins of the leaf. And this can actually also help with, if you have anxiety. Like, I know a lot of friends who have panic attacks, who like get like really stressed and stuff, or like they're super overwhelmed. And like, there's just something so magical when you drink kratom. It just like takes the edge off. But it has a lot of health benefits. It's really rich in antioxidants. The red kind's more sedative. The white kind is great for mental clarity. That's what helped me get off of the Adderall. And then green kratom is really great as well for slightly euphoric, but it kind of also helps with like the pain management as well. But I would say, is the best for anxiety in my opinion. But yeah, there's different types, and we're going to have more information about Brave Botanicals. But the whole idea is just like, if you are watching these talks and you're learning about ways to transform your diet, transform so that you have better energy levels, transform so that you don't have to rely on prescription medication. It's like one step at a time, and all of this information will help to push you in that direction and really take back power in your health journey. So I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for letting me blabble on here for, I guess it's been like 30 minutes already. But yeah, without further ado, on the website, just check it out here. It's exitandbuildhealthsummit.com, and I will let you all go. So if you type this in, or if you go to the description on the YouTube thing, it has the website there. But this is going to happen from today. 5 or 6 talks will be released every day until Sunday, December 10th. And of course, if you sign up as a VIP, let me show you what that looks like. So we actually have this so then you get access to this, is called Kajabi. If you're a Live Free Academy member, you're probably already familiar with this program, but you'll just get access to this Kajabi portal. And then look, you have literally access to all the videos for the rest of your life. You can say, oh, I'll watch one video a day and I'll, knock through them all in a month, or whatever, your goals are. In terms of how quickly, if you can't do it for these next 5 days. But there's tons of perks as well for doing this with the VIP pass. And so you get a lot of, bonuses and add-ons and like weightlifting help and, calorie tracking and all sorts of perks. And they're all outlined on the website. But thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you'll join us for the 5-day Exit and Build Health Summit. It's the first one we've ever put on. Super epic. We've got an amazing lineup of speakers. Go check it out at the website. And we hope that you will enjoy all of the talks. And until next time, thanks, y'all. Peace out. Oh, next week, we're going to be talking about permaculture design courses, permaculture in general. So I'll share the information for that episode. We're excited to have Jessica on the show next week. Thanks, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Hope that you enjoy the Health Summit. And let me know if you have any questions. If you comment, I'll make sure to send you the link if you need help with anything. Oh, merci, Rebecca. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you all. Bye.